Yo, what's good, my people? Welcome back to the SillyMMA channel, and we got a different scenery today. Not the blue background with PNGs of the champs and all that. We got a tier list on the Lucas Tracy type thing, you know what I'm saying? And today we're gonna be ranking all the UFC TKOs, knockouts, KOs, all of that shit that we've had this year in 2025. We've had a few fun ones, you know, we've had a few good cards, and we've had some decent TKOs emerging from them. I'm gonna go through the tiers. Before I do that, give me a like and subscribe, all the good stuff. And then the first tier, jam and injury. This is maybe an early stoppage, a doctor stoppage, maybe just like some jammy WMMA one or an injury. You know, that's the bottom 10. Then we have mid, like it's a knockout, you got the finish, yeah, but it's mid. Then we have very good. This was a good knockout, high quality, good knockout, you know what I mean? Highlight reel, this was, get on the highlight reel, just cold, you know, out cold, and then frozen like Elsa. This is the level above that, just out cold proper. So you get all of that into the first TKO, which was on the Durham vs Ribas card, clean vs Dudakova. We started with a WMMA TKO, and that was just Dudakova. I mean, Klein smashing away to a TKO victory over the bloody hell, mate, what's that name? Dudakova with 33 seconds left in the second round. I'm gonna put it at mid. It was nice, just, you know, just elbows, WMMA, all that shit. Then we had Jacoby Smith vs Parsons. I think his name's Chris Parsons, something like that. This is a good knockout, you know, he mixed it up on the feet, had the body kick early on, the right cross, left hook, finished it. I'm going to put this out very good, because this was a good knockout. Then we got Tulio vs Pereira. I should be there. You know, I mean, yeah, he beat him. It was brutal, you know, Pereira was getting beat up. I'm going to put it out mid. I can't really remember exactly, but I think Tulio got with a right hand, followed up with another right, and then just ground and pound. But yeah, I can't remember it, so I'll put it there. But then we got Soriano vs Medic. Yeah. This was beautiful. Big left hand instantly from Soriano. Dropped him ground and pound, and it was over for Joras Modic. Then we had Kopylov versus Chris Curtis. Of course, this was a good fight over 3 rounds. And it was 1-1 going into the last. And then the last second, the referee, maybe Mike Beltran, stepped in. You know, he ruined it. But it was an early stoppage. I'm going to put it out of jam. I keep messing around with it. That was a jam because I don't think it should have been stopped. 1 second, Chris was there, conscious. But then we have the first frozen like Elsa. Shout out Izzy Adesanya, Cesar Almeida. Oh my god, Razak Hassan was out cold. A beautiful knockout from Almeida. And then Ponzinibbio versus Harris. You know, Ponzinibbio had been dropped early on, but he rallied back. He got the standing TKO. I'm gonna put that at mid. You know, he had a few knockdowns early on, but standing TKO can't be more above that. Then we had Anklaev versus Reese. I mean, yeah, I would put it very good, but there was some few shots to the back of the head, man, so I'm not sure. But I'm gonna put it out very good because them ground and pound shots were powerful. Then Almeida versus Spivak, the first round TKO. You know, Spivak was troubling Almeida early, but Almeida found his way up, blitz Spivak, got the finish. I'm gonna put it out very good. This was a good knockout. Then Yuri versus Jamal Hill. I mean, this was a masterclass from Yuri Prochazka. Showed the new head movement, took control, multiple knockdowns in a row. I'm gonna put this one in the highlight reel. It wasn't this level, Cesar Almeida level, but it was up there. Then we had Vodgangrad versus Alexander. I mean, this was a great knockout. I mean, nah, it wasn't great. I don't know why I'm saying that. You know, a shaky start, he got the ground finish. I'm gonna put it out mid. Why you going mid? Then we got Terence McKinney versus Hadzovic. He just turned him earlier, top mount, turned in the top mount. He got the, nah, I put it out mid. Then Imavov versus Adesanya. Aye, should I put it in just to disrespect the king? I'm gonna put it a highlight reel. This was a sensational knockout, you know, just moving in with the big right hand. This was a great knockout, to be fair. And then we had Quilkin Salkid versus Anshel Jubilee. Frozen like Elsa. Fuck Anshel Jubilee, man. Fuck Anshel Jubilee. But seriously, this was a powerful right hand. I'm gonna put it a highlight reel. Cool, it was a highlight reel. Had him out cold. Then we had Teixeira versus Taffa. This was a very good knockout, you know, clean elbow. Taffa crashed down, all of that. We had Delgado versus Matthews. It was a big right hand over the top. Finished it with ground and pound. I'm gonna put it out very good. Then we had Sadikov versus Bonfim. This was a doctor stoppage, so it's gonna go. It wasn't a knockout, you know, it was a stoppage. So I'm gonna put out a jam injury, but that was still a nice head kick that got Gabriel Bonfim hurt. Then we had Shabazian versus Budka. I'm gonna put this at mid. It was a big right hand, you know, and he crashed Budka to the canvas. I'm gonna put out very good because it was a powerful knockout. Then we had Cannonier versus Rodriguez. This was very good just because of the sheer, you know, aspect of the knockout, how he had to come back from being knocked down multiple times in the first round and got him out of there in the fourth. Beautiful. Then Mikauskas versus Rafael Sanchera. I'm gonna put this at very good. You know, swarmed him up against the cage, throwing everything at him, and got it done. Then we had Ruziboyev versus Makonico. I would have put that very good, but due to the sheer quality of opponent man me, and you know, just it took him 2 rounds to get it done. Yeah, I mean, yeah, nah. Then we had Wanderford versus Veretinnikov. Just had him up against the cage, big right hands to get the fight finished. I'm gonna put that mid, you know, nothing special. Then we had Simon versus Basharat, out cold. Boy, Basharat's eyes, Javid Basharat, this guy used to be looked on highly, and Ricky Simon of all guys in a 3-fight skid put him to sleep. Crazy. Then Abdul Malik versus Klein. I'm gonna put this up mid, you know, had him up, I don't know, man. He bombarded him with powerful shots and a knee. Nah, I'm gonna put out very good. Then Silva versus Melzik Badjasharian. This was a highlight reel knockout, you know, the taunting before it. Then the moving, the 1-2 big right hand, and then the ground and pound, them elbows to the body. Brutal. Then we had Pinto versus Lane. I don't know, it's heavyweight MMA. Do I put it in frozen light also? Nah, I'll put it in highlight reel. You know, he had Pinto, he had Austin Lane out cold, but it wasn't special, you know, just a right hand, and it is Austin Lane at the end of the day. Then Patterson versus Barlow. I mean, this one should be here just because the sheer underdog that he was. But I'm gonna put it in very good. It was a good knockout, you know. He had a big right hand and then followed him up and laid all the out cold with the ground and pound. Then of course we had Cody Brundage versus Marquez. You know, he hurt Marquez with the big shots and the 1-2 and then a wide ground and pound. I'm gonna put it out mid. You know, just a standard knockout. Gape versus Almabayev. This was jam injury, like eye pokes before that, man. There were so many eye pokes on Almabayev and he didn't even get the knockdown, just a standing TKO. I'm not having any of that. Then Carlos Leal versus Moreno. I mean, this was brutal. It was a standing TKO, but it was a brutal one. So, you know, I'm an excuse. I'm gonna put out mid because, you know, he was throwing everything at him, and that's Moreno. You know, he's a tough guy. Then we have Mauricio Hofi versus Bobby Green. I mean, Green was off. Nah. Get him up there now. What a knockout. I mean, the spin, the fake hook, and then the beautiful spinning heel kick right to the temple. And Bobby Green was out cold. Then we had Jadis versus Tuben. I mean, this was a beautiful left high kick followed by punches. You know, I'm actually put this one. I'm gonna put out a highlight reel because, bro, you don't see brutality like this in WMMA, and bro, it was there in abundance on that night. Then the same fight after that, Koshera versus Nunes. I'm gonna put this out very good. It was an uppercut, flattening Nunes out. Then we had Cortez Acosta versus Span. Just to how shit Span was, I'm gonna put it here because Cortez Acosta did connect with a big right hand, you know, on his way down hammer fist, but Span was so shit that night. I don't know what Span came out there, but it was rubbish. Then Kevin Vallejos versus Songwoi Choi. I mean, bro, Vallejos is so good. I'm gonna put it. It was just a standard right hand though. If I put that there, I have to put Shabazi in there. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it there. You know, beautiful overhand. Stayed nice and tight like Ilya Topuria. Big right hand landed. Then Injikani versus Dos Santos. I mean, he fights up a big knee in the middle, drops him, and gets the finish. You know, it wasn't highlight reel level, but it was a good knockout. Nevertheless, it's hard to get into these. Gautier versus Medina. This another knee. This was highlight reel just because of what he was doing as well. Medina's a tough guy and he was just throwing everything at him. The hooks, the straights, the knees, it was all. And then Martino, who the hell was that? Martinez versus Olivera, a beautiful counter right. Eventually finds another knee who we have here, and vicious ground and pound. I'm gonna put this. I don't know. He was out cold, man. I can't really remember the knockout exactly, but nah, I'm gonna put it out very good. This area is getting stuck. Torres versus Stuba. This was a crazy knockout, but this was such a late stoppage, man. I'm gonna put it out highlight reel because Trudeau is a tough motherfucker. It was a beautiful 1-2, and you know, it would have been a highlight reel if everyone was out cold. Nah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna respect my boy Manuel Torres like that, and that's that. And then we got Reese McKee versus Frunze. This was a standing TKO, but I'm gonna put it. Nah, it was mid. It's a standing TKO, but he knocked him down 4 times in the same round. Dropped the Romanian, batted him, destroyed his face so badly. Doctor stepped in. You know, it wasn't even a standing TKO, to be fair. Then we had Osborne versus Ariel. This was a beauty. This is highlight reel. Mid kick, left hand, bang, Odi Osborne had him down and follows up with the shots of his back. That was beautiful. Then we had Lee Chankov versus Romeo Scordavios. Ground and pound. Yeah, mid knockout, man. Just damage off the back to finish the fight. Then we had Tulio versus Score. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this out very good. This was a back and forth one, but Tulio was riding the boot, and you know, Go was fighting back at sometimes, but battering him, you know, his nose was fucked up, and eventually a big right hand that made the ref see enough. I can't remember if Tulio went down, but I'm gonna put it out very good. Then we have Mikel versus the Mask highlight reel. Nah, but it didn't even land clean. It was off the bicep of Mikel Olivera, sent him crashing down for the ground and pound finish. Then Arosa versus Elkins. Elkins was so shit that I have to put it in mid, and even Arosa was too slow to get the finish. Then we have Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson. This is jam, man. This was such an early stoppage. It can't be above that. This was a jammy one. Then we had Reyes versus Krylov. This is a rare frozen like Elsa. I mean, bro, just Dominic Reyes, man. What a resurgence this guy's had. Krylov walks into the left hand McGregor-esque, the hammer fist as well, as you can see there on one knee. Beautiful. Then we had Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. This was a very good knockout, you know, just blasted Michael Chandler. Beautiful ground and pound, a knee that came earlier and eventually found the finish. Then Edwards versus Chandler. You know, Edwards was chasing Chandler with right hooks. One landed, jumped the cage. I'm putting it jam. You know, it was so obvious what Edwards was throwing, man. WMMA is so low level. Then we had Kwamba versus Romero. This was highlight reel, a beautiful knee timed that Romero didn't even know where he was. This was a beautiful, beautiful finish. Then we had Cameron Simon versus Malcolm Bottlemaker. This was a frozen, nah, it wasn't. It was a highlight reel. A beautiful, beautiful, clean knockout. Got the job done with the left hook. Beautiful work. Then we had Alice Guerrero versus Muniz. I'm gonna put out mid. There was the overhand, but Muniz wasn't there for the fight, you know. Then the ground and pound for the finish. Brown versus Dalby. Where is this? Where's Brown versus Dalby? It's not here. I forgot it. That would have been in frozen like Elsa. Then we had Minyang versus Smith. How did I forget the best knockout of the year? One of them. Minyang versus Smith. Man, it's fucking Anthony Smith. I put it in mid, you know what I mean? I don't know why you got that, mate. Then we have Gideon Robertson versus Marina Rodriguez. You know, just a WMMA ground and pound finish, nothing special. Bekaev versus Luda. This was highlight reel knockout in my opinion. You know, big right hook, left hook, then a right hook combo, dropped Luda. We crumbled, then shots on the fence, you know what I mean? Beautiful. Then D-Rod versus Ponzinibbio. This was a good knockout, you know. Had him out, laid him out flat with a 5-punch combo. You know, I'm gonna put it highlight reel even. That was beautiful. I'm being a bit more generous now. We're catching up here. Then Bo Nickel versus Ridder. Oh, mate. Bo Nickel, I hate you so much. A massive knee in the midsection. I'm gonna put it frozen like Elsa. Nickel just gave up, man. It probably should be around here, but just because Bo Nickel get up. Then we have Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. Jam injury, you know. Figueiredo got his leg fucked up by Sandhagen. And the ground and pound finish after he turned into him. Almacon versus Katuna. This was a highlight reel finish. Uppercut in the guard, up the guard. Had Katuna out cold. It never ever been finished before. I don't know why I just said cold like a gay boy, mate. I promise you I'm not like John Jones. Ariel versus Silva. This was brutal, man. This was brutal. Silva was out cold. Then we had Mallet versus Radke. Laid him out with a left hook. This was a very good knockout. We had Gomez versus Reed. It was made, you know, WMMA knockout. Just chasing over a barrage of strikes. Gordon versus Moises. I mean, there was loads of ground and pound. No, it wasn't actually. It was only 2 shots. I'll put it out very good. And then the final knockout. Actually, no, not the final knockout. There should be Jacoby versus Lopez here. But once again, I forgot. That's the 3rd knockout I forgot to put in this video. But the final I've got here, I guess, is Morales versus Burns. I put out mid. And Jacoby versus Lopez would be here. That's all I got today. Thank you very much for watching. Just a short tier list on all the videos that we've had. Leave a like, subscribe, all of that. Shout out SillyMMA.